Seltzer Kings
podcasts.
Want to shop Walmart Black Friday deals first? Walmart Plus members get early access to our hottest deals. Join now and get 50% off a 1-year annual membership. Shop Black Friday deals first with Walmart Plus. See terms at walmartplus.com.
What did you do to her?
Nothing. We just talked all night. Well, I did most of the talking. But Chloe was a good listener. Till she hanged herself. Like when you called her maggot. She really heard that.
Don't listen to it. Any of you.
It's the first. Oh, let him. The only reason why Chloe offed herself was because she knew what you're not getting. I'm coming. You're going. All this? It's almost over.
We'll be here.
All of you? But wait, I thought...
They're not all gonna make it. Some will die, and there's nothing I can do that will stop it.
Hey, I didn't say it. But I'll be seeing all of you. One by one. TTFN.
Hello, everybody! Welcome to another episode of Boys Watching Buffy. We're just two boys watching every episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer for the first time, giving our review, our reactions. We're your hosts. I'm Joe Welke.
I'm Vance.
And today we're talking about Season 7, Episode 15, titled Get It Done. Written by Douglas Petrie. Directed by Douglas Petrie. Original air date February 18th, 2003, to an audience of 3.43 million people. And before we get into this episode, everybody, we got a couple of shout-outs. We got to do a shout-out for our good friend all the way in Great Britain. Great Britain. Doesn't say exactly where, but in Great Britain. Want to give a shout out to Airplane Flaps. Thank you so much for your Apple Podcasts 5-star rating and review. Just did a rewatch themselves, and now they're checking out the pod. Thank you so much. We also got to go all the way to, I believe it's South Africa, for Cecilia. That's right? I don't know pronunciations. But yes. Thank you for your Spotify review. If you want to get your very own Sloppy Joe shout out, Apple Podcast 5-star rating and review, Spotify 5-star rating, take a screenshot of it, send it in to us, and we will give you that shout out. Also, announcement time. Boys Watching Movies, movie of the month for June is going to be Summer Catch, starring our boy, Freddie Prinze Jr., completing the Freddie Prinze Jr. trilogy that we've been working on, starring our boy, Mark Blucas, however you pronounce it. Our boy Riley, he's in this movie. And I think Matthew Lillard is also in this movie, right?
You have mentioned that he is. I don't know, but maybe he should be.
Well, it's also of Matthew Lillard trilogy then.
Yeah, and Jessica Biel is in it, and maybe some other faces.
Summer Catch, it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah,
maybe.
We decided that we were gonna do a trilogy for the Scooby-Doo movie series, and Freddie Prinze is the key. Freddie Prinze Jr.
Not Matthew Lillard, who is like the star of all of the Scooby-Doo movies.
Yeah. We had
Freddie Prinze Jr. After we discovered how bad of an actor Freddie Prinze Jr. is.
Or that we hadn't seen, or we had just seen enough of him. It'd be nice to see him in a different leading role.
Yes.
Let's say
Even
that.
though we did see him in I Know What You Did Last Summer.
But it's not...
Two Scooby-Doo movies.
All of those I would classify more as an ensemble.
Okay, yeah, true.
It looks like he's front and center on this poster, him and Jessica Biel.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
let's see.
What a way to kick off the summer than with Summer Catch. So there's that you can find that on Patreon, patreon.com/Boys Watching Buffy, where we'll be doing Summer Catch. Also, Boys Watching Angel, which has taken a turn. Is it for the better or is it for the worse? You gotta tune in to find out.
I'll say both of these episodes have some wild endings.
Oh boy, do they.
Yeah.
Joe's Fashion Report /corner, of course. Join our Discord where we talk about all of this stuff, Buffy, the stuff on Patreon, and general life stuff. Who knows? You could be talking about your high school's cheerleading competition. You could be talking about breakfast cereals. You could be talking about anime. Who knows what the fuck's going on in Discord? But a lot of Buffy talk, a lot of Angel talk, and then whatever the hell else. Season 2 chatter is picking back up in the Season 2 talk only.
Yeah.
Make me want to go back and relive it.
What a time. What a time, right?
Yeah. That was like 2 years ago when we recorded those. Good Lord. Anyway, so get it done. What did you think about this episode, Vance? The monsters. I almost always forget the monsters.
I would think I'm going to crack open this energy drink because I might have a lot to say about this one.
Yeah, right off the bat, on the heels of First Date, which I loved, I really enjoyed that episode last week. Loved recording that episode, loved watching that episode. This one, not as much.
Yeah. It kind of lost me a little bit in the middle end.
Mm-hmm.
The ending lost me a little bit.
I feel like I know where it lost you because I got lost in the middle of it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we are on the same page here.
Yeah.
But yeah, towards the middle, I was like, oh, okay.
And I thought the directing and editing was a little strange in this one.
Wow. Bring it up with Douglas Petrie.
Has he directed a bunch of these?
He's directed a couple before. Mm-hmm. He's at least written a couple. Yeah. Maybe this is his directorial debut. Who knows?
Yeah.
Because looking at season 7, season 7, he's never directed any episodes this season. But I know that I've read his name a bunch before.
Okay.
But let's get into it. This one starts off with the recap of who the first evil / the Harbingers are. Jonathan wanting Andrew to kill the potential slayers. Who the potential slayers are recap. Kennedy and Willow hooking up. Spike has a soul now / no chip. And Principal Wood being a badass slayer. Like a human slayer. That doesn't sound right. He's a regular guy that slays vampires. And his ghost mom telling him that Spike is the one that killed her. So, open up the episode. Buffy walking around the house at night, and she's looking down at all of the potentials who are just littering her house at this point. I mean, we talked about how like they pared it down to, just 4 of them with Molly, Rona, Kennedy, and the Chinese Slayer. Not according to this episode. There's like 25 potential Slayers, it looks like.
I figured we were going to get a bunch of them because that was the longest recap I'd ever seen for this show. It was the whole... I was like, are they going to have time for the episode? Because they're showing us another one.
Whole potentials saga.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's all of these fucking kids just sleeping on the floor, sleeping in beds, sleeping on the ceiling.
So the social worker's all gone now, right?
Oh yeah.
Because I feel like this many people coming into town, into her house would be so it'd be noticeable.
And here's the thing too, like we're off to a hot start here. There's I'll say at least 15 potential slayers. I'll be a bit conservative, 15-ish. all of these girls were either, number one, just straight up kidnapped like we theorized about the Chinese Slayer, or the Watchers had to tell their parents or something why they're being taken, and that means that they would know about vampires. And you can't trust that many people with your secret. You know what I mean? If they're trying to keep vampires a secret.
I don't think they're trying to keep vampires a secret anymore. I just think they don't tell people.
Well, then how are the parents okay with just some British guy taking their daughters?
At one point, I was wondering if all of these girls are orphans, because something
It would make much more sense.
Yeah, I just I know we've harped on this before about like where Slayers come from, how this all works. And I swear every time we get more answers, it's more confusing.
Yeah. Yeah, like, dude, there's so many of these girls here. And either their parents just do not give a fuck and don't notice where they are, or they just were kidnapped, or
there's not even enough Watchers to tell them what happened.
Yeah, it's like Giles is the only Watcher left.
I think there might be a
with
couple
flying all
more.
around.
Robson's still around.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Yeah, he did make a phone call.
Yeah.
Get his ass over here. Help out, Robson, you lazy fuck.
Speaking of Giles, not in this episode. Very confusing.
Right? It's a little odd. Odd.
Understand production-wise and whatever he's contracted for, but this is the episode that he kind of needs to be there.
Yes.
It really makes me question a lot of stuff that's happening.
But I was just like, where are these girls' parents? Is no one concerned about them? I guess not. But yeah, Buffy sees all these girls as she's walking around the house. And then in the hallway, she sees a girl just like sitting in a corner, just weeping, open weeping. And Buffy's like, Chloe? Your name's Chloe, right? Right? I'm not.
I'm not a football coach. I don't know the name of everyone on my team.
Yeah. 52. Is that you? Hey, 1-8. Get over here. But as Buffy's like trying to walk over to console this girl, the first Slayer attacks Buffy, pushes her down the stairs. Both of them go tumbling, and Buffy lands on the ground at the bottom of the stairs, and the first Slayer jumps on top of her, and she goes, "It's not enough." And then Buffy wakes up because this was all just a bad dream, except the fact that there are a fuck ton of potential Slayers in her house.
Mm-hmm.
Of all the Buffy bad dream fake outs, I feel like this is one of the weaker ones.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that kind of cracks open everything that happens in this episode.
Yeah.
Buffy's concerns going forth, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So then we go to a dark alley with Anya and Spike. And Anya's walking down the street with Spike, and she's just complaining about being human again. She's like, why the hell did I ever do this? Why would I ever sign up to be human again? This is so stupid. And Spike is like, hey, look, I feel you. I feel you. And she's like, it's just all these insides. I hate feeling what humans feel on the inside. It's so icky. And then Spike is like, well, at least your outside's still pretty. And Anya's like, oh, thanks, Spike. But I'm sick of hanging out at the Summers house with all these potential Slayers. And Spike is in agreement with her, which I guess answers our question. Anya is staying there?
I know. I didn't. I think she's staying there for safety, but it's not. It's kind of implied that, but it's still. I think once she got attacked, I guess she moved in there. But
yeah, that makes sense with all these D'Hoffryn demons out together. But they're happy to be out of the house, going to get drunk. And then Anya like puts her arm around Spike, interlocking at his elbow. And she's like, it's kind of weird. This might, I'm a little worried. Don't get too crazy because this isn't a date. And Spike's like, yeah, I know. I just want to get fucked up. And Anya's like, but, if it did end up being like a date, like I wouldn't mind. It wouldn't be too terrible. And Spike is like, dude, what is up with you? I do not want to date you. Will you stop this? And Anya's like, come on. I'll have sex with you. I will fuck anything right now. Anything living or dead.
Yeah, it's very interesting that this is Anya's plight now.
Yeah. And she's not trying too hard because the only people that she's kind of thrown it to is Xander, Spike, and that one demon from the eye of whatever, that dimension that they went to, her and Giles.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's hot. She could totally bang just somebody.
It doesn't work like that in Sunnydale.
That's true.
Yeah.
She got to find Parker.
I mean, the chances are if she found a guy, it was going to be a demon or some monster.
Yeah, that's true.
And which would be fine if she was still a vengeance demon. But
yeah, but human, ugh. I would never fuck a human. Ugh.
Yeah. You saw what happened to Xander last week.
That is true. But speaking of demons, a demon shows up and Spike is like, oh, thank God. And Anya's like, what? And this demon attacks Anya. Spike saves her. DeHoffern is still trying to kill Anya because the demon's like, DeHoffern wants you dead. And Spike saves Anya. They run off together. He doesn't kill the demon, but they run off together.
And they run really funny. They hold on to the shot of them running away, arm in arm. And I was just like, okay, is this padding for time or something? What's going on? Why they had to see him run down the whole alleyway?
I just, is it like TV running? Because everybody in the show runs weird.
Yeah, I don't know. It was so awkward. And I was like watching them. I'm like, something gonna happen? Nope, no. They're just running.
They just run.
And I don't know where you're running to because that demon has to know where you live because it's not that hard to find the Slayer's house. It's the one with all the girls in it.
One with all the girls in it and the one with all the harbingers, bringers that's just stand and stalk outside. It's the one with all the cloaked people on the lawn.
Mm-hmm. I mean, DeHoffern, you're better than this. If you want to kill Anya, you could do it.
Right?
Yeah.
Some all-powerful vengeance demon you are.
Yeah.
Piece of shit. But anyway, so we then go to Buffy and Principal Wood at school, and they're admonishing these two bullies that started a fight, and one of them's got a huge black eye, and they're like, hey, don't you start any more fights. And they're like, okay. And so they leave. And Principal Wood is talking to Buffy now. Out loud, they have an open office plan. He starts like shutting the blinds on the window.
Yeah. Because at first I thought they were in his office. I was like, why is she sitting behind his desk? And then they cut wide and you realize it's her desk and they're like out in the open area.
I thought the exact same thing. I was like, okay, well, they have a little bit of privacy. Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Principal Wood just starts talking like, there's so many people missing. There's all these fights breaking out. Man. And then he sees like girls just sprinting down the hallway and he just shuts the blinds. He's like, Buffy, this vampire shit, this Hellmouth stuff is going bad. And Buffy's like, yeah, it seems like the Hellmouth is active again. It's percolating.
My note in all caps says, shut down the school. Why are they cool with just like kids milling around on top of the Hellmouth?
I mean, he worked his way to get to this point, Vance. He maneuvered his way to becoming the principal of the Hellmouth.
It's like, I gotta keep everyone safe. Yeah, let's just have all these kids here.
Yeah.
Shut down the schools. They were shut down for a week for maintenance or gas leak, or come up with something, guy.
Yeah, bomb threat, something. But yeah. And Principal Wood is like, I feel like things are getting bad faster than I thought they were. Like, this is ramping up pretty quickly. And Buffy is like, well, there's only 7 episodes left. So, yeah, it seems about that.
Yeah. This seems about right for the last 6 years.
Yeah, she does mention something like, well, it does usually ramp up around this time, and then it finishes off around May.
Yeah.
I was like, nice little industry secret there for Principal Wood.
Yeah. She's already planning her vacation, her post-Buffy vacation.
But yeah, then Principal Wood is like, all right, well, I need to know what's going on because I don't have powers. In fact, I'm just a guy, a cool and sexy vampire slaying guy, but still. And then Buffy goes, not to mention a snappy dresser. And Principal Wood's like, oh, yeah. Anyway, here's a giant bag that my dead mother left me.
I wasn't going to give this to you until now, I guess.
Yeah. It's an emergency kit. It belonged to his mother, and it's something that his mom was supposed to like pass down to the next Slayer after she died, I guess. But Principal Wood, once his mom died, he couldn't let go of it.
He couldn't let go of it, but also couldn't open one of the things inside of it.
Well, he couldn't let go of it. He didn't open anything. Like it seems like he didn't open it once.
How?
Open it.
How are you not curious?
Right,
you were
because
4
his mom
years
died
old.
At 4? You definitely open that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Buffy's like, well, what's inside? And he's like, I don't know. It has something to do with Slayer powers. I figured I shouldn't do that because I'm not a Slayer. But
and I was raised by a Watcher, so he actually doesn't know either.
Yeah. But then Principal Wood is like, I want to see where you work, Buffy. And Buffy's like, well, we're right here. Here's my pencils. Here's my computer. And he's like, no, idiot. I want to see where you fucking do all your Slayer shit. And I was like, oh, okay.
He's like, was my mom this dense too? Is it all Slayers?
So then Buffy takes Principal Wood to the Summers house, and she's explaining to him like all the potentials have been staying there, and that's why there's all these sleeping bags on the floor and shit. But hey, man, this is Command Central. And then Andrew comes running out in an apron and oven mitts, and he's like, Buffy, where the hell have you been? I've been waiting all day for you to get home. Andrew's now Joyce.
He mentions that he needs help making the funnel cakes.
Yeah, this funnel cake is kicking my ass.
I know how funnel cakes are made. Making them at home would be tricky. Not tricky, but like something. But it's not that hard. Not once you have the batter.
One time, I tried to make beignets, and it ended up just being a funnel cake. I could not get the beignets to be good.
How did you make beignets?
Well, it was mainly my girlfriend making beignets.
Okay, because I was like, it's a key factor in making beignets that Joe Welke seems to have trouble realizing.
I was the
in the hot dog water
the sous chef.
I
was the sous chef.
Were you trying to make beignets in hot dog water?
Yeah,
and fry water.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm good at following directions. I could read directions and make it happen.
What is this OIL word?
But yeah, Principal Wood is there, and he's like, yeah. Some of his reads of lines are so bizarre.
Yeah, I still think they played that vampire line back.
Yes, he's a vampire.
I watched the intro too, like you mentioned last week, and it is Xander getting shot in the head with the little at the
beam,
wedding
right?
theme. Yeah,
it lingers on that shot for a long time.
Yeah, I think without the audio from that scene, it seems longer because you could hear the other quote unquote older Xander probably talking when he was looking at the thing, and then it shoots up. But without that and just music, it does link. It does feel like he's really staring at something.
Yeah. But yeah, Principal was like, yeah, funnel cakes can kick people's asses. And then he's like, who the hell is this guy? And Buffy's like, well, this is Andrew. He's our, well, I guess technically he's our hostage. And he's like, a hostage? And Buffy's like, yeah, well, he used to be evil and he killed people, but we're trying to, I guess, reform him. And Andrew's like, I like to consider myself a guestage. Like, I'm just a guest. I'm not a hostage. I'm just chilling these days. And then he's too concerned. He's like, dude, are you just telling everybody about our hideout now? Because fucking this guy knows all these potential slayers are out here. Like, try to hide this hideout a little bit. They're all going to come in and attack us. And then they're going to see our big board. And Buffy's like, what? Big board? Principal was like, what's the big board? And then Andrew pulls out this giant whiteboard. He's like, hey, I made it myself. And it's a map of Sunnydale that he's like detailing where all of the demon activity is happening and where Buffy is located centrally and where all this stuff is happening and going down. And no one's like impressed or compliments this board. I was like, this is actually kind of useful, maybe?
I don't know how useful it is when you have a witch with a locator spell that can locate anyone.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I commend Andrew for the effort. I'm going to make an Andrew Defender shirt.
maybe hold off on that. You're like, that attempted rapist is I'm a fan of that guy. Spike, unforgivable vampire. Andrew, just confused team.
Yeah. He wouldn't have done it. He wouldn't have done it. He would have stopped them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no,
he would have helped Warren hold her down. He's a monster.
Yeah. So Buffy and Principal Wood, they leave Andrew to it with his big board and they head outside. And outside, all of the potentials are training karate or some shit. And Kennedy is like the drill sergeant.
All right, maybe this isn't where it lost me, but this is the beginning of the losing.
Yeah. They're all in a line. They're all doing like, like all of the karate. I forget what they're like, shapes or whatever. And one girl, Chloe, who Buffy saw crying in her dream, she didn't do it correctly or well enough. And Kennedy gets up in her face and she's like, is that what you call effort, maggot? Drop and give me 20. And Chloe's like, 20 what? She's like, push-ups, maggot. And then so Chloe just gets on her knees and starts doing push-ups. Kennedy turns around and sees Buffy and she's like, this is so cool. In front of what, like, I would not be doing push-ups after I heard Kennedy do that.
One, this training is not the training that Buffy ever had.
Yeah.
Not the training that Wesley gave to Faith. You know, they had to do some running, they had to do some drills, some calisthenics or stuff, but none of this.
It was like an obstacle course at one point, right?
Yeah. Also, why is Kennedy leading this? Where is Giles? Why is Giles not training this? They're outside by themselves in a shared backyard. Like they have neighbors. Yeah. It's like 15, 20 of them screaming hi-ya and practice air punching. They're air punching. And you're like, what is this? What is this training? What is this?
Yeah.
I know we want to call them an army and it's for that thing. And she's doing the maggot line from like that Full Metal Jacket. She's trying to Full Metal Jacket it. And it's just like, what? And Principal Wood walks out and they don't stop and go like, who the hell is this guy?
No. Yeah.
Even the girl who is from the high school is like, wait, Principal Wood, you're here? I'm like,
yeah.
You say that right when he walks out.
Yeah. Amanda, the girl he's like, Principal Wood, what are you doing here? And Buffy's like, don't worry, he knows. I'll let him know.
Did you let your parents know that you live here now and that we trained you? When did that happen, Amanda? Because I know you had a house and a home that you went to.
Right? Yeah, man. Mom and Dad, I'm going to be sleeping over at Dawn's house for the next unforeseeable future.
We don't want you to do that. And she bucks at him and they're like, okay, you can do whatever you want.
You want me to slam your head into concrete? But yeah, man, it's so weird seeing Kennedy as the drill sergeant.
Yeah, I'm starting to get why people don't like Kennedy.
Yeah, they gave her a lot of power real quickly, it seems.
Yeah, oh, so you hooked up with the witch that lives here, now you're in charge of all of us? No teenage girls? No teenage girls had any pushback on that?
Yeah. Maybe she's the most prepared because she knows how to work a crossbow that we've seen.
Yeah, good. Didn't they have
Right?
Did they have little dummies in the backyard too with bullseyes on them on that wide shot?
I don't know. I
I
didn't
don't
see
know.
that.
I don't know if
But
I'm putting that in my own. It's just
yeah,
weird.
dude, it's very weird. It was funny hearing the word "haya"
Mhm,
without the actual like force and
mhm.
like it's so funny.
They're like punch. They're like left punch, right punch. All right, yeah, that's how you take down a vampire. Like,
I mean, couldn't Buffy hire like a boxing coach under the guise of like this is a female self-defense class or something?
what do they need that? Like, they
Just
already
teach 'em how
they've
to
already
box
fought a
or something.
vampire.
Yeah, I guess so.
Take 5
But
of them out every night. Do your little walk around, fight a vampire, go back. I don't know.
lock them in a mausoleum. Say if
Yeah.
any of you die, it's not on me. Here's a couple steaks. Good luck.
And if you do die, I won't care. Or
Yeah. Welcome to the Thunderdome, bitch. 5 potential slayers enter. Hopefully 5 leave.
Hey, Buffy, can you do something more elaborate? Because I wasn't here when you fought the Turrican, so I didn't see that firsthand. I still need proof how strong you are.
Yeah. So then Willow comes out, and Willow's holding a bunch of weapons and like crossbows, got a bunch of stakes, and she sees Principal Wood, and she's like, "Oh, hi, I'm Principal Wood. You're we're just getting ready for the recital that is self-defense themed." And then Buffy's like, "Well, don't worry about it. I already filled him in." And Willow's like, "Oh, thank God." And Principal Wood goes, "Yes, Willow, I've heard that you've been experimenting." And then Willow has just like the most horrified face. And then he goes, "With the magics?" And then Willow's like, "Oh, yeah, with magic, yeah."
I was really worried that this guy was going to talk about my sexuality
Right.
upon first meeting me for no reason. There's a lot of
her
moments like that in this, like the beat
that
beat
face
you off
that she
Yeah.
does. Oh, dude, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, Willow is like, "Oh, yeah. All right, yeah. I'm a witch. I was really powerful, but now I'm kind of like only doing light magic because I got addicted. I had to go to rehab. I left rehab a little early, and it's not been going too well for me as of late."
Pulled this one over here from heaven. If you can believe that.
But Principal Wood is like, "All right, cool. We're gonna need you, I guess, or something." And then Willow's like, "This guy's so much cooler than Snyder." Yeah, Snyder was fucking horrendously lame.
It's a reference for the fans.
Yeah,
I
I do miss Snyder though. He was great.
Yeah, this scene. It was weird because it was like they were outside, but new stuff kept happening. It was like we never cut to a new scene. Just like a new person would come up, and then they talk about something else. And it was like, what is happening? And then we go back to Buffy and him talking, and it just was like, it just felt weird. Like the pacing felt off.
Yeah. But so Willow leaves after dropping off the weapons, and then Buffy's talking to Principal Wood, and she's like, "I'm just worried this isn't enough." Because Principal Wood's like, "Some army you got here." And Buffy's like, "Yeah, but it's not enough." Then Principal Wood is like, "Well, this isn't your whole army, you know? Because take me to the vampire."
And before that happens, this is when Buffy says, "Yeah, some of these people are gonna die. I can't save them all." And and he's like, "Yeah, whatever. Yeah." And you said Andrew killed people, right? He didn't kill my mom, right? That's okay. So he's cool. And a couple of these girls, one of them is one in my school, and I should know these girls are gonna die. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, this Buffy is like, yeah, we got a bunch of preteen potential slayers that have no actual power, and some of them are going to die. We got a Wicca that Wick can't. Yeah, this isn't your whole army. Take me to your vampire.
It's like, why do you want to see him? You're being real creepy about that.
Right. And so Buffy and him head over to the basement where Spike is with Anya, and Anya is mad that Spike didn't kill the demon that tried to kill her. And she's like, well, how come you didn't kill him? He's going to come back and try and kill me. And Spike's like, look, I saved you. Could say thank you. I'm just the one who beat him off. And then Buffy crosses her arms and looks at Spike like, what? Spike's like, repelled would have been a better phrase.
Yeah.
So then Buffy explains to Spike that she's showing Principal Wood the operation. And Spike's like, oh, okay, cool. Nice to meet you again. Principal Wood is like, so you're a good guy, huh? I hear you're a good guy. Spike's like, yes, sir. Good guy. Got a soul and everything. And I've changed. And Principal was like, you've not always been a good guy. And Spike's like, yeah, no, I'm trying to make up for that. Did a whole got tortured a bunch, got a soul, trying to make up for that. Principal was like, Then he gets up into Spike's face and they start having this really tense conversation. He's like, so you killed a bunch of people, huh? And Spike's like, yeah, I'd rather not talk about it. Principal was like, we've been all around the world, huh? And Spike's like, yep. And he's like, killed a bunch of people, have you? And Spike's like, uh-huh. And they're just like in each other's face. And Principal Wood is being hostile and Spike knows it. And that's why Spike's like giving him the vaguest answers possible. He's like, what the fuck is up with this guy? Yeah. And Buffy's looking at this like, oh, my two boys are fighting over me.
It would be hard to be intimidated if you're Spike.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing, guy? Like, why am I afraid of you? Yeah. He does mention, Principal Wood mention, oh, you have a soul. And Spike's like, yeah, it was very big process, very private process. Like, how do you know this? Like, how do you know all this information?
Yeah, he turns to Buffy and he's like, you just telling everybody now?
Buffy's like, hey, he put the best thing I've ever had in my mouth and I just... It's the best thing I've ever tasted, and I just had to, I don't know. I can't help myself, Spike.
I see somebody slay a vampire and just gets me all horny.
And I think he might secretly be still kind of evil somehow. I don't know. Yeah, it's just, and then they shoot this shot, and it's all profile, them face-to-face profile shots, which we haven't done a bunch of like this. These angles. It's intense. He's trying to dig and fish for he's waiting for Spike to kind of confess that he killed his mom.
Yeah. I mean, it's good tension. I like where the tension is in this scene.
Buffy doesn't seem to realize it enough. She's like, "Hey, let's go upstairs."
Standing in the background,
but she doesn't go like, "What the hell was that all about?"
Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't stick up for Spike or anything.
Or just try to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
She's just like, guys just want me. So.
Yeah. She's just standing in the background with her arms crossed. Like, all right, I'll let this play out until I see it's a little too much.
Mm-hmm.
But Principal Wood towers over Spike. Like, he is a lot taller than Spike. It's hard to be intimidating it's like a twofold thing where it's like, why would Spike be intimidated? But it's also hard for Spike to be intimidating looking up at Principal Wood. But also confirmed that scar on his eyebrow is still there. Yeah. We were wondering about that last episode.
I really thought at one point when he said he hadn't opened the bag, the Slayer bag, I was like, this has to be like a bomb to kill a vampire or something. Honestly, I was like, why did he have an emergency bag from his mom? Like, he wants to have vengeance on a vampire who now he knows has a soul and is working with a Slayer because they killed his Slayer mom at least 20 plus years ago.
Yeah. I would say
30.
30-ish years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, we did get the date at one point during that flashback because they had New York City 1970 something or whatever.
We get the recap too.
Yeah, we do. With his fucking awful goddamn safety pin shirt. Just random safety pins all over. With his Billy Idol Sid Vicious vibe. Ugh. But anyway. So yeah, Buffy and Principal Wood go back upstairs and Spike is left there like, what the fuck was that all about?
Oh, I do want to mention Spike's excuse for not killing that demon was so dumb. He says he didn't kill the demon that attacked Anya because if he fought that demon, then he got like knocked out or something, he wouldn't be there to protect Anya. I was like, that has never been a concern ever for any character in this show. Power or no power, vampire or human, no one's ever been like, let's run away from this situation.
I gotta say, I do enjoy the Spike Anya dynamic, though. Like, they're a fun pairing when they're like in scenes together.
I like the pairing of them. I don't know what we're doing with Anya just trying to sleep with them.
Well, she's trying to fuck everybody at this point, seems like.
Yeah, but I think I'd rather have them bond over the not being human thing and the chaos in the house than him have to like fend her off and be like, hey, calm down. Like, not being human and having hitmen after, that's enough.
Yeah.
She could, but like, they really drive it home that she's really trying to bone.
Yeah, they could be like homies.
Yeah,
not trying to fuck.
She could like kind of be like, you know, lean towards like trying to hook up with him after some stuff, but like, she's really like, why the fuck won't you fuck me? And it's like too much.
Yeah. But anyway, we go to Dawn, who's looking through the emergency kit that Principal Wood has given Buffy, and she found a few things. Big textbook, a bunch of potions and stuff, and a big unopenable box. Dawn apparently knows Sumerian at this point in the show.
Why do the Slayers not want to open this emergency kit? Buffy, you were handed an emergency kit from a Slayer from the 80s.
That Principal Wood says this has been passed down from generations.
And you're like, here, Dawn, fake sister, can you look through this and tell me what's in it? I don't got time.
Yeah. And Buffy's like, okay, cool. Good to know. Thanks for the intel, Dawn. They start walking through the hallway. Buffy goes to one of the bedrooms. She opens the door and she sees that Chloe, the girl that in Buffy's dream was like crying in the corner, has just straight up hung herself. And I was like, whoa, that escalated very quickly.
What is she hanging from?
Don't ask, Vance. Don't ask. Don't you dare ask what she's hanging from, Vance.
Because they don't do, like, this is before you get trigger warnings on episodes. Like, now if this happens in the episode, there's a trigger warning and it ruins the shock of it. But, you know, whatever. Trigger warning, whatever. It's fine. But you don't see a chair, so I don't know how she got up there. I don't know what she's tied to. It was one of those moments where I had to be like, is this just a visual at first?
Yeah.
Like, is this the first evil just visual? Yeah. For a second,
I gotta say,
they explain it.
Seeing, I don't know if this happens to you or whatever, but for some reason, seeing a hung person freaks me out. Like, it's so...
Don't take that out of context.
Yeah. Every time I look in the mirror, I'm freaked out, man.
I can't do it.
No, but like a person that has hung themselves, it's just so, more so than like somebody that's been like in movies anyway, like somebody that's been like stabbed to death or like, you know, beheadings or whatever. There's something about the suspension in air and just like hanging there. It just gives me the willies, man. It freaks me out.
you do aerial stuff. That's what you guys look like with dangling and toes pointed down.
And that's why I hate silks. That's why I don't do silks.
You're afraid you're going to get tied up in it.
Yeah, man, I do hard apparatuses only. Fucking trapeze, aerial pole. Stick to those two.
No rings, right?
No, I would love to do rings. I did.
You're not afraid of like your head slipping through the ring?
No, my head's too big for that. I did a little version of the rings called straps, where it's like the rings but without the rings, and you just wrap it around your wrist, and that shit is hardcore, dude.
Yeah, it's seeing her hung, like seeing people hung in media doesn't really bother me that much. I do love the creak that you normally get, that creaky sound of them like swinging things, like.
Yeah.
I love that sound effect. I think they use the same one for everybody.
It's like the Wilhelm scream, but
it's like she's not like hanging from a rafter. What is that wood creaking?
Yeah, and Buffy sees this and she's freaked out. Obviously, Dawn sees this and she's freaked out. Kennedy and a few of the other more important potential slayers rush in and see.
Dude, Kennedy, when she comes, her reaction is so like delayed. And she's like, "What's going on?" Oh,
yeah, and they all see it, and so then Chloe, as the first evil, stands beside the hung version of herself, and she's like, "Oh, see this? This is what's happening. This is what's going to happen to all of you, and I'm here, and I'm going to fucking get inside of your heads, and I'm going to make all of you do this. So, be warned." And Buffy's like, "Dawn, get the knife. We got to cut her down." And Buffy's like, "We're not afraid of you. We're not afraid of you." And then Chloe, the first evil, throws Buffy's words back in her face about like, "Hey, some of these girls are going to die." And she even does like an impression. It's Buffy's voice.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Yeah, not all these girls are going to survive." And Buffy's standing there. She's like, "Fuck. I guess I shouldn't have said that so loud."
I thought that was going to be a bigger moment of dissension between the groups, but it is not. It also...
Maybe it'll play out in like future episodes, because that is a big, like, that is a big thing. That Buffy is just casually talking about, like, yeah, some of these girls are going to die.
It's a bigger thing to me that the first evil can listen in all the time.
Right?
You guys were outside, first evil, nowhere around, and she literally played back word for word what you said to Principal Woods. Yeah. So she's the first evil. I guess we're calling it a she because it's been, or whatever. The first evil can listen
women are
in.
Evil.
Yeah. As this episode shows us, it shows us the creation of Eve.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so like if the first evil can listen in, I don't understand how you guys do any plans.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about that like past episodes. Like, how do you even come up with a plan to like wire the first evil? How do you fool the first evil? Like, oh, I'm in the basement. The first evil can't hear us. It's like it can just show up. Yeah,
and this episode just breaks that of like word for word, plays back your exact words.
Yeah.
Like you're fucked.
Yeah.
But
the first evil's been in this house so many times. It's like, why are you guys cool?
Yeah. Yeah. But after Chloe kind of taunts Buffy and the other potentials about like, "I'm going to visit each of you one by one, and this is going to be the result." And then Chloe does her little TV disappearing act. And it looks like all the other potentials that are there are kind of like disheartened, and they're looking like, oh, shit.
There's a moment where before Chloe leaves, the first evil Chloe leaves, she goes, TTFN.
Yeah.
And Buffy goes, and it's one of those things I was thinking about. It's like, is this how we show that Buffy's older than everybody or like out of touch? It's like the boomerish, like, I don't get this new slang that the kids are talking.
I'm glad that you brought that up because Buffy's like, TTFN, what does that mean? And then I think it's Rona that's like, ta-ta for now. Chloe loved Tigger.
I was like, what? What is that?
Yeah, that was a little random as fuck.
Character we don't know who is now dead, like the show we never saw them watch or talk about. And it led to a sign-off and Buffy having to ask about the sign-off, finding out what the sign-off is and it being not that cool. Like, unless this comes back at the end and Buffy kills the first evil and says, ta-ta for now.
Yeah.
I just don't. It was just such a big moment. Like, TTFN, what does that mean?
Yeah. She said it so mockingly.
Yeah.
And then when Buffy's like, what does that mean? I was like, okay, I mean, Winnie the Pooh has been around.
Yeah.
Like, you know, fucking all of these old silent film stars, but you don't know Winnie the Pooh?
Well, I wouldn't have known TTFN meant ta-ta for now.
I mean, I definitely knew that. And it's also a large part of my life.
So you knew that when she said TTFN?
Yeah.
Okay, see, I did not know.
Ta-ta for now. I mean, my girlfriend's stage name is Tatas for now, so
well, I mean
that's thrown in my face all the time.
Yeah,
but I knew it before then because I mean I've watched Winnie the Pooh stuff as a kid.
Yeah, I have not watched enough Winnie the Pooh to have the acronyms for that.
Yeah,
but why is that so important?
It's because that's what Chloe loved, and it knows everything about them.
Rona looks hurt when she has to say "ta-ta" for now.
Yeah.
Cut her down. Get a knife. Get a knife.
Yeah.
Get a knife.
Dawn, where's that knife?
Like, did you not see what I just saw? Like, I was here the whole time.
Yeah. Like, while the first evil is still, like, threatening them, Buffy's like, Dawn, where's the knife? Where's the scissors?
It's like, Buffy, can you just ask potential number 18 to go get it?
Right? Potential 17?
Wait, none of those girls have a knife on them.
I mean, it's bedtime.
Yeah, that's when the monsters come out.
Yeah. And then we cut to Buffy. This was the beginning of the end for me.
Yep, this broke me.
Yeah, this is right where it started losing me. Buffy's in the middle of her backyard. It seems. She's in the backyard?
I couldn't tell where she was. Maybe she is, but that's insane. I don't know where she is.
I don't know where she is, but she's digging a grave for Chloe.
I don't think she's in the backyard because she comes in later from the front door.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And backyard would be even bleaker than what's going on.
Yeah, that would be pretty nuts. But yeah, Buffy's out digging a grave to chuck this dead girl's body.
Now, this is a moment where I said, so they're just burying people now.
Yeah.
So this is how Sunnydale works now. You find a dead body, you grab it, you bury it somewhere.
Well, I mean, what is revealed later is also kind of crazy too. But yeah, Buffy's digging a grave for Chloe. We have a shot around the Summers household of all the potentials looking all dejected and worried and sad, and they're crying and consoling each other. And then Buffy returns. And she sees all these people like just standing around and kind of worried. And Buffy's like, all right, she's still got the shovel in her hand.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody want to say a few words about Chloe? And then nobody says anything. And Buffy's like, all right, let me. Chloe was an idiot. Chloe was stupid. And Chloe was weak. And I was like, God damn.
This is like normally an episode that would have that. If you're having mental health issues, please call this phone number at the end. Like, you know, but not this. It's like, you soft son of a bitch. If you can't handle being talked to, being called a maggot, and being mentally manipulated, then get out of my house.
That was another thing that the first evil threw in like Kennedy's face. It's like, Chloe didn't really take too kindly to being called a maggot. It's like she started living that.
And Buffy's like, don't listen to her. She's the first evil. Don't listen to her.
Yeah. But yeah, Buffy's like, Chloe was an idiot. Chloe was stupid and she was weak. And you know what? I'm fucking tired of this. I've been carrying all of you for way too long. You're all just relying on me. And Kennedy stands up. She's like, hey, whoa, dude, you're a little fucking out of line right now, okay? And Buffy's like, No, I'm fucking not. Sit down and shut up. I'm powerful, and I've been like holding all of your hands, and you're all just weak as fuck. And Kennedy's like, you're not even that powerful. You're not even the most powerful person in this room, Buffy. Willow over here could fucking end the world. She's way more powerful than you. And Buffy's like, oh yeah, Willow, you want to try and fucking do that shit again? You want to try that shit again? And Willow's like, oh yeah, Buffy's right. Yeah, no. Buffy's right. She's way more powerful than me.
Buffy bucks out Willow.
It's funny, dude.
Yeah. There's a line when she comes in talking about how weak Chloe was. She also says, do what she did, and I'll find room next to her and Annabelle.
Yes, that's yeah. That was the thing that I was like, that's crazy. She's like, I'll bury you right next to Annabelle and Chloe. I was like, God damn.
And I was like, wait, are these girls orphans? She just died like a minute ago. Is there no what are we doing?
It would make so much more sense if they were orphans.
I think even if they're orphans, it's like, can we not like, what are they doing? You just burying bodies? Because I know on Discord there's been chatter about Principal Woods and us talking about what was he doing burying Jonathan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's been like pushback being like, well, he found a body and just buried it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
was he supposed to just leave it there?
But maybe find out who it is. Maybe, I don't know, put it somewhere where the police can find, identify, and news can get told to their next of kin or family members. I don't know. Like, just
bury him.
Just bury him. It's wild.
Yeah.
I think they're just, I think the problem is the Sunnydale, like, funeral home situation has gotten out of hand. The prices they're charging for people dying has gotten out of hand. So everyone's like burying their own people.
That makes sense. Funerals are expensive.
Yeah. But she's like, I did this with my mom. That's it. I'll just go to one of these random fields and dig a grave. And I won't use any of the girls that I have here to help me.
No, she's got to do it herself.
Yeah. We only have one shovel.
Go to the janitor's closet in the school basement. Get Principal Wood out there.
I love Principal Wood if he came back and he was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What happened to the? What happened to the one?
What happened to that maggot?
Yeah, what happened to the one that did the push-ups? Shut
up. She hung herself. She was weak. She was stupid.
And you're the school counselor?
Yeah. But so yeah, Buffy is like, Willow is like, no, Kennedy, you're a little out of line. Like, Buffy is way powerful. She's the chosen one. Don't worry about it. And then Kennedy is like kind of pissed, like, no, dude, I don't know about this. And then Buffy,
I don't fuck losers.
Yeah. She gets on her Cordelia train.
Yeah.
If you want to know about that, Boys Watching Buffy on Patreon. But so yeah, then Buffy goes on more of her rant, and she's like, hey, I'm sick of all this. All of you are just like waiting for me. You're all just waiting for me. And then Xander speaks up. He's like, well, yeah, because you told us to. You told us to wait for your signal because, like, you're our leader, as in we follow you. And Buffy's like, it's a bunch of bullshit. And you're all dumb fucks. And Xander's like, whoa. Also, we're your friends, Buffy. And then Anya speaks up and she goes, I'm not. Then Buffy turns around and goes, then why are you here? Aside from getting rescued, what do you do? And I was like, God damn, dude.
I was like, what is happening?
That was a sick burn on Anya, though.
Why did Anya go, I'm not your friend?
Yeah, I mean, I guess because Buffy's being so harsh, Anya wanted to like try and take her down a peg, but like, you have no grounds to stand on, Anya.
Yeah, you're sitting on the couch, you're hanging out, you're saying I'm not your friend. The only reason Xander tried to talk Buffy out of killing you was based off of friendship.
Yeah, I did love Buffy. It was quick too, because Anya's like, I'm not. Buffy just whips around. Then why are you here? aside from getting rescued, what do you do? And then Anya's just like, I provide sarcasm. And then Xander's like, actually, that's my job. If I was Xander, I would shut the fuck up. I would not be. This is not the time for these kind of jokes.
I'm trying to lighten the mood in the scene because Buffy's on one right now.
Yeah. But then Buffy is like, yeah, you're not here because you're fucking providing sarcasm. You're here because you're scared. You're scared shitless. And you can be as scared as you want. Just be fucking useful. And then Willow, this is too far for Willow. And Willow's like, hey, Buffy, Buff, hey, let's chill. Let's calm down a little bit. We're all trying.
It's just one girl.
Yeah.
Died. We got a bunch of them. You literally said they were gonna die.
Yeah. And then so Buffy is just like, look, the First already knows so much about us. It knows our weaknesses. Knew that Chloe liked fucking Tigger, dude. It's laughing at us, okay? And then Spike is like, gets up and he's about to leave. And Buffy's like, where the fuck do you think you're going? Spike's like, well, you're talking to all these people about being weak and scared and everything. That doesn't apply to me, so I'm out. And then Buffy's like, okay, you're out? Okay, take a cell phone in case I need someone to get weepy and wailed on. And then Spike turns around and is like, you got something to say to me? And Buffy's like, I just fucking did, bro. And then Spike is like, what is your problem? And she goes, you were a much better fighter when you didn't have a soul. And then Spike goes, I got a soul for you. You wanted me to have a soul. That's what you wanted. And then Buffy's like, I don't want that. I want a dangerous Spike.
The one that tried to kill me when we first met.
Right? The one that tried to rape me. Where's that guy?
They really threw out this I got a soul for you thing, and this is what you wanted, which is not what she wanted at all. She never asked for that.
Yeah, he just did kind of context clues. Was like, maybe this will make me a good guy.
Yeah. That is, yeah, they say that. And he says this in a room full of teenage girls. This has got to be, like, I think this is the first time, like, Xander and Anya and Willow have heard this.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's dramatic.
I feel like if I was one of the potentials in this situation, I'd feel the gravity of it. But just the way my brain works, I would be like, this is insane. And I'd start laughing. This is so absurd. A vampire talking about getting his soul back.
Yes.
It would be one of those things, if this wasn't a life or death situation, the next day in high school would be amazing. Tell him what you just saw at this party.
Dude, the gossip after this. That's some hot tea to be spilling that
and
gossip.
And she said,
dude.
I'm not your friend. And she said, well, what are you doing here? Oh.
Yeah. That meme of all the guys like, oh. But Spike's like, I don't have to listen to this. I'm out later. And Buffy's like, all right, see ya. All right, let's get that emergency kit because I'm declaring a state of emergency. And that's kind of the scene where that one kind of ends a little bit. Now, this is why this scene completely breaks me, is because last episode, everybody was going on dates, and Giles was basically giving this same speech, and it was like, Giles, stop being so stuck up, but fucking Buffy has a dream, and all of a sudden everything changes. Buffy doesn't have time for dates and dilly-dallying and ass grabbing. Willow and Kennedy can't be their cutesy little lovers anymore. Xander can't be going out with Ashanti. Now it's serious because Buffy had a dream and a girl killed herself. It's like, bro, fucking Annabelle died.
They didn't blink when Annabelle died at all.
They couldn't give a fuck. I mean, we said that she was an idiot. Where was this speech when Annabelle died?
Yeah.
Buffy should have given that speech because Chloe was taken advantage of by the first evil, obviously. Obviously, Annabelle was maybe. Who knows? She may have just been scared and ran off. Annabelle is more of an idiot than Chloe, I feel like.
Oh, yeah. Chloe's completely been manipulated. And not the first person has been manipulated by the first. You know who's been manipulated by the first? That vampire you love.
Yeah.
Who killed a bunch of people.
That you're not ready for him to leave yet. We saw that in the recap.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not ready for you.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Andrew, who killed his best friend.
Yeah. Fucking all of them? Because there was
Xander
that episode
hasn't.
where they're all separated? Yeah, Xander hasn't. Xander's immune to this.
Xander and Anya haven't been influenced by the first evil. And we don't know yet if Joyce is real or not. But
yeah, that's true.
And Willow was smart enough to know that, come on. Come on.
Yeah, you're not Tara.
Well, that's interesting because Willow, the first evil tried to get Willow to kill herself.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't work. And then it was like, you know what? I'm going to try that again with this one.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I think the first evil telling you its plan that it's going to try to convince you all to like kill yourself. It's like ruining the plan.
And when the first evil appeared to Andrew last episode, and then they tried to record it, I feel like that took some of the teeth out of the first evil. Because Andrew's just like kind of shooting the shit with the first evil at some points.
Can the first evil not tell that someone's wearing a wire? Or people in the basement? Like, what? I don't, whatever.
I mean, the first evil seems like omnipotent.
Yes.
And omniscient.
Yes.
But
it's not
for when the plot needs it.
Yeah, because it's not omnipotent because it can't really touch anything, but omniscient for sure. Because I've wrote in my notes in all caps again, couldn't the first be listening to all this right now?
Right?
Why is the first not listening to this?
Oh, it just wants to pop in every once in a while. He had a game of bridge that he was playing with the second evil and the third evil.
He's like, oh God, I got to run across town to Principal Woods' place and I got to swap into his mom outfit. Okay, all right. Okay. Yeah. Are you gonna kill Spike? wait. I think Buffy's giving a speech. I got to get back across town. Big evil sucks.
Yeah. But yeah, this is the scene that kind of broke me.
I almost thought that this was the first evil showing up as Buffy. And I realize it can't be because Buffy's not dead. But I was like, everything she's doing and saying just feels out of character.
But that's not true because the first evil has shown up as Buffy to Spike. So Buffy has, I think it's like she has been dead. So that's allowed.
Oh, yeah, he has showed up as her. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's why I was like thinking this had to be the first evil because this would have been perfect first evil shit, right? Because come in, make all these girls feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not.
Make for some dissension within the ranks in the group. Like make even Xander and Willow like, what the fuck?
Yeah, pit people against each other. Spike did this back when he first got the chip. And he tried to pit people against each other because he was still evil, but he had a chip. And he was like, oh, I'll just manipulate them mentally.
Mm-hmm.
So when Buffy came in and was like, you guys are all losers. And now it's like, oh, so you really are mad at Chloe for killing herself, huh? No sympathy for that.
I mean, also, if the first evil can appear as Buffy, why isn't it utilizing that like way more often?
100%.
You know? That would be so confusing for the potentials and the people in Buffy's circle.
And no Buffy's at work during the day. Just come in that whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, I just put that together. I forgot that it can appear as Buffy and like, why isn't it doing that?
Yeah. So Buffy's dead? I don't even know.
She's got a suntan.
I don't even know. Once we get to the end of this episode, I don't even know what Buffy is.
Yeah.
And Giles is nowhere to be seen. And I also was thinking about, we still have the potential from China who's watching all of this and has no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
She's just on the couch and you keep seeing her. No clue. Can't understand a word that's being said.
I was listening back to the last episode and about how like when the Chinese Slayer will interject as if she understands. Like, she'll respond to things that are happening as if she can understand it, but she's speaking Cantonese or whatever. And it makes no sense. But it's a good comedic bit. I'll forgive it.
She knows.
But yeah,
she knows her. If she knows pacing of conversations.
But yeah, like you said, if she's in this conversation of Buffy like running everybody down, she's just like, "What's going on?" Like,
that's the tag at the end of the scene to kind of lighten it up a little bit if they wanted to. It's just her being like, "Huh." Yeah.
I mean, it's Willow has to know like a translator spell.
Right.
That has to exist. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Buffy declares a state of emergency. Get the emergency kit. We're going to open that bad boy up and see what happens.
At Sierra, discover joyous deals on great gifts for everyone on your list. Like cozy slippers, ski gear, fishing poles, bikes, large kayaks, even larger canoes. Whew. Which might lead to another discovery. Wrapping gifts is the only sport you need to stay fit this season. 'Tis the season to discover great gifts at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
Botox Cosmetic, out of botulinum toxin A, FDA approved for over 20 years. So, talk to your specialist to see if Botox Cosmetic is right for you.
For full prescribing information, including boxed warning, visit BotoxCosmetic.com or call 877-351-0300.
Remember to ask for Botox Cosmetic by name. To see for yourself and learn more, visit BotoxCosmetic.com. That's BotoxCosmetic.com.
So then Principal Wood shows up. And Buffy's like, "Thanks for coming." He's like, "No, I'm glad to be here. Think I should be here. I should probably be. Can I move in too?"
Yeah. No, she brought him here. She's like, "I think you will want to see this." He's like, "You damn right." It's like,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they want to see what was in the bag.
I'm going to open that thing that you've had your whole life and not looked into. Can we open this together?
So they open it up and they're looking, and Principal was like, "I don't know. I never could get it open. There's some kind of crazy shit going." It's just like a padlock, and Buffy just breaks it open. And he's like, "Oh, I guess you could open it like that." And
that's all it is.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So they open up the unopenable box that just had a lock on it.
Yeah. Not even enchanted by some magical spell. Just some bolt cutters. Just bolt cutters. Done.
Maybe you need to be imbued with Slayer strength in order to open it. I don't know, man. I'm Discord now. I'm making all kinds of excuses for the bullshit that's happening.
I love the Discord headcanon stuff when you're just like, wow, you really don't want this to have any flaws in it, do you? It's okay. It's a hole there. You do not have to fill it.
Yeah. But they open it up and Buffy's like, "All right, what the fuck is all this stuff?" And Dawn is like, "They're shadow casters, idiot."
Dawn is like, Scooby smart now.
Dude, and she's got this book and she's like, "I've been reading the book. I've been translating it from Sumerian."
Earlier, Buffy's like, "Are you doing your homework?" I'm like, "What are you talking about? She's doing this now. This is more important."
Yeah, if I was Dawn, I'd be like, "Dude, are you serious? Doing homework?"
Are you asking any of the potentials to do their homework? They're not in school.
But yeah, and Dawn explains that the Shadowcasters are like an origin myth, and it's the story of the first Slayer. And we can see the story of the first Slayer if we like start doing the Shadowcasters. So they put all this shit together. They light a match to use the Shadowcaster thing. And
can I just say, they sent all the other potentials upstairs,
except for Kennedy.
Except for Kennedy. Well, Kennedy's,
she's second in command.
She sexed her way into the Scoobies.
It's going to be so funny when the next Slayer, who, if Buffy dies, it doesn't matter because the Slayer line goes through Faith, but whatever. It's going to be funny when the next Slayer is not any of these girls. It's some potential in Argentina or some bullshit.
From what we get later, there might not be. So we'll talk about it. But this is where it starts getting wild and weird and stuff.
Oh, yeah. This is when they start to try to explain the lore that we've been asking for since season 2.
That people seem to think, I don't understand why you don't get it. Yep. They haven't ever explained it.
Oh, boy, and boy, do they try here.
I am not looking forward to this week on Discord. I really am not.
Yeah, we're going to get all kinds of... Yeah. But, so... Dawn is able to translate this first story of the first Slayer, and it's a creation story of first there was the earth, then came the demons, then men found a girl and took the girl to fight the demons. They chained the girl to the earth, and then there's something about darkness, which you cannot be shown, and Dawn, they're like, Dawn, wow, you really know how to fucking read Sumerian. You're really good at this. And she's like, well, I don't really need to because now it's being translated like into English and I can read it. And the shadow caster just starts spinning faster and faster and more rapidly and everything. And then a portal opens that's full of this blue energy and light. And Buffy sees that and she immediately is like, I think I gotta fucking go through that. And then everyone's like, whoa, wait a second, wait a second. Oh, maybe not. Let's see what happens here. We don't know what this is. And Buffy's like, I'm going, jumps through.
Buffy's like, I see a portal. I jump through it. You know me. And Willow's like, please don't do this again. I'm having traumatic flashbacks of when I didn't see you jump off the roof, off the tower.
Yeah. Slayer's blood. Is this the same blood thing? Whatever. Dawn, why don't you hop in there?
Push.
It's your turn, Dawn. I did the last one.
That would have been amazing if Dawn jumped in.
So Buffy jumps through the portal, and then the portal closes, and in the portal's place is a humongous muscle-bound demon. And they're like, oh, like all the Scoobs are left standing there with no Buffy, and they're like, oh, this is not good. And the demon just grabs Xander and chucks him across the room.
Yeah, apparently there was some type of exchange that they said was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know
There's
why.
There's always an exchange.
Don't know why it's this demon.
I don't know. He's pretty badass looking, though.
Kind of got a Predator vibe to him.
I was just about to say that. It's got like the bald dreadlocks look.
Mm-hmm.
Little tusks coming out of the bottom of his mouth and shit.
I know I said some stuff about the directing and editing a little bit. I did find this what I thought was going to be a Jumanji situation when they were like reading about the shadow casters and the sound effects and like the shadows going around and spinning and stuff. I thought that looked pretty cool.
No, yeah, that was cool. That was like, did you see the new Candyman? Like the remake?
I know what you mean from the trailers that I saw.
Yeah. They have a lot of cool like shadow puppet imagery in that, and that was like so cool in that movie.
Yeah. That's a tough one to tell if that movie would have done well if it wasn't pandemic.
Yeah, it's a bummer because I saw it. I was entertained by it. I thought it was a good movie. And especially that like shadow puppet situation that they had. It was really unique.
Have you seen the original Candyman?
I have not. This is actually like the new one is kind of like a sequel-ish to it.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. I recommend it. I feel like the original Candyman is one of those things where like I can't put myself back in that period of time and it would just look goofy to me. You know what I mean? But whatever. Candyman, new one. Recommend it. Do you recommend the original? Have you seen the original?
I saw the original when I was much younger. I mean, it is of its time. It deals more with I don't know if the new one deals more with the racial aspect of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's pretty integral to the story.
Yeah. A lot of bees, a lot of hooks, a lot of hook hands.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one fucking thing that has hooks for hands. Unlike this goddamn show. Giles should have an eye patch and a hook for hand.
When he comes in
axe.
next episode with a hook and with a hook for a hand, you're gonna be like, yes, finally.
Yeah.
Does Razor count? That he didn't have a hook for a hand, but he had a razor thing.
Who?
The guy when Buffy came back from the dead, and a guy Razor who had the
the biker
claws.
gang?
Yeah, not quite a hook for a hand, but
Yeah. I mean, that was so cool.
Yeah.
That biker gang was all right.
yeah, they caused chaos, and the city bounced back like that never happened.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Remember when that
Sunnydale was
biker
the most
gang?
resilient city in America.
Los Angeles is floating up there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, never mind. I take that back.
Yeah.
L.A., baby. City of Angels.
City of Angel.
Yep. What a great pilot that was, man. City of.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, Xander got flung across the room. Then a demon starts attacking Willow. Principal Wood shows up and he starts fighting the demon. Kennedy starts attacking it. Dawn starts attacking it. The demon just works them. Spike shows back up. He starts attacking the demon. They're like, "What are you doing, Spike?" And Spike's like, "I'm doing what I do best. All of you get out." And then the demon just chucks Spike up a story,
Mm-hmm.
throws him through the ceiling. And then Kennedy goes, "Is that what he does best?"
That was pretty funny.
That was great. But again, I felt so bad for the renovations that are going to be needing to be done.
What are the potentials doing? They were all supposed to be upstairs, and a vampire went through the floor to the second floor. So,
but this is what I didn't understand: is after the demon throws Spike through the ceiling, it just like runs away. And I didn't know where it went because all the Scoobs that were just attacked start getting up like really slowly and then just having a conversation in the living room like, "Whew, that sucked. Should we go check on Spike maybe? I don't know. Willow, you might need to do a spell or something."
Yeah, because Willow tries to do some magic, gets bitch slapped across the room, right?
Yeah.
And it's all about, Wicca can't. Wicca who can't. Who Wick can't. So then she gets back up and it's like, well, we need Buffy back. And I'm like, wasn't Buffy's speech about you guys fending for yourself? And this speech is like,
"I've been like holding your hands through all of this. It's time to fucking go out by yourself." And that was like, Xander was like, "I mean, you told us to wait for you."
And then when Buffy dove into that portal, she looks back at Willow and she's like, Willow's like, "I don't know. We don't know how we're going to bring you back." And Buffy's like, "You'll figure it out. Find a way." And jumps in. It's like, all right, I do have permission now. Right, guys? I have permission to bring her back now. It's like, you brought her back from heaven in the dimension you didn't know about with lesser powers. This should be fine.
I wish Buffy would have given her more sass in that point. It just like turns her, oh, so this is the one you can't bring me back from?
I would have loved some of that. What we get at the end of this episode, we get even less of that. And I don't know.
But also like Kennedy is being really harsh. She starts like pressuring Willow of like, "Come on, you're a fucking witch. Do witch stuff. Stop being such a pussy."
Yeah, do the fairy tale magic that I don't really like.
Yeah, man.
You just saw a Slayer jump through a portal, okay? Like,
and a demon showed up as an exchange.
Yeah.
So with all this fucking fairy tale bullshit,
we needed Andrew to be in the living room and be like, "I am out of here. There's too much attacking in this house. There's an 8-foot demon in the living room."
Yeah. But yeah, back to your point of like people would being like, "Willow, you gotta do a spell. Willow, you gotta do a spell." And then Anya's like, "You sure about that? You sure about that?" Who knows if Willow doing a spell is not gonna like send her off the deep end again and try and fucking kill us all and end the world. And then Willow's like, "Yeah, I don't even know where Buffy is to bring her back." It's like, you thought she was in hell. She was in heaven. And you were able to you didn't know where she was at that point. And you brought her back. What?
Yeah, but she was like dead, so I just knew I had to go talk to the spirit and get this thing off eBay.
The Urn of Osiris.
Yeah.
But anyway, we see where Buffy has landed, and she has landed in what I am now calling the desert of the first Slayer.
I called it First Slayer Land.
In all actuality, Joshua Tree.
Yeah. Temecula.
Yeah. The Warner Brothers lot. Oh, man. But yeah, Buffy has landed in First Slayer Land. I love that.
Very non-fertile land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we cut back to the Scoobs, and Xander and all of them are trying to figure some stuff out. And they're like, Dawn, what does the text say? And Dawn's like, I can't really translate it on account of... And then she shows the audience that all of the pages are blank now. And they're like, fuck.
Oh, I think it turned back
Willow.
to Sumerian or whatever.
No, I think they're blank.
They're blank? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain that they were blank because she makes a great deal of like showing the camera outwardly, like there's nothing in here. But they're talking to Willow, and Willow's like, I don't even know what magic to use. And Anya's like, should we risk our lives? Like maybe this is, I mean, you heard Buffy's speech. She said that we're all useless. Let her fucking fend for herself. Maybe we don't even need to do anything. She's super powerful, apparently, and she thinks that we're all weak pieces of shit. And I was like, okay, Anya, okay.
There's a twist, a moment at the end of the scene where Anya comes back around, but I was like, man, she's about to go real dark.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah, she's like, oh, she thinks we're all worthless. So let her fucking figure it out.
I do think the whole why couldn't Buffy find a way back is weird. Like she's, again, I was going to bring this up later, but she has been to hell before.
Yeah.
And escaped.
Mm-hmm.
And
it was in Los Angeles, though.
And it was like a day. It was not.
All she needed to get out of hell was like climb up a manhole sewer grate.
Yeah. Like, what's to say she can't just find something wherever she is and just make a new portal and come back?
Yeah, man. I don't know.
Should we call Giles and tell him what's happening?
Nah, he's off reading books, maybe?
He's off recruiting other girls.
Yeah, I mean, one girl just killed herself. He's got to find a replacement Hispanic potential slayer.
Yeah.
It looked like Chloe was like the only Latina.
What is Kennedy?
Yeah, I guess Kennedy could be Latina.
I think her name's Alexa or something, Vallejo or something.
Okay. Did you notice that in the opening? I noticed this in the opening credits. There's a couple of like potential slayers, I think, that go by only one name.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of Indigo.
Indigo. There was another one,
mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Yo, what's up with this?
Yeah,
this is interesting.
This is interesting time, you know."
Yeah, but anywho, yeah. So Anya's like, "Hey, fuck Buffy. You know, should we risk our lives trying to get her back?" She said she was more powerful than all of us. Maybe she's right. Let her fend for herself.
She's got a point. If Willow goes back to Dark Willow again, I don't understand. If Willow became Dark Willow, would she try to end the world? Because she's not sad about Terra anymore. And that seemed to be more of a motivating factor than just having evil powers.
Yeah. But whatever. Yeah. So then eventually Willow's like, look, I don't even know how we're going to get Buffy back, but we should definitely try. And then Dawn asks Willow, like, well, what do you think we can do? What do you think is going to happen? And Willow's like, well, we could do, I guess, this spell, maybe, but I need to get some talisman and products or whatever. And then Anya's like, oh, all right, well, here's what we're going to need if we're going to do that spell.
Yeah, because Dawn asks, how would you explain to another witch how to do this? And I was like, oh, is Dawn going to take over the power thing? Is she going to try to go to
That's kind of
Amy?
what I was thinking too, yeah.
And then Willow starts talking about like, oh, I would figure out metaphysical, blah, 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 all this stuff. And I thought Anya was just going to rip into Willow like, you idiot. But instead she's like, no, you actually have to do this thing. Because if anyone knows, I used to do witchcraft too. And then she then they're like, oh, well, then you can do this blah, 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 blah thing. And they're like, oh, that's easy. Now we figured it out. Great.
Yeah, they explain that witchcraft is basically all just physics or something.
Yeah.
It's like that scene in Spider-Man when he's fighting Doctor Strange. He's like, oh, this is just math. I can figure this out.
Yeah. Magic is just math. Yep.
Yeah.
That's why this nerd is good at it.
Yeah. That's what I was just about to say. I was like, that's why no cool people do magic. But yeah, then Principal Wood, he speaks up and he's like, well, while you all figure that out, I need to find that demon, because if we're going to do an exchange, everything in physics, we need to find an exchange. We got to take the demon and send it back through the portal. And then Spike's like, does it say if the demon needs to be alive or dead? And it's like, no, I think that we can just throw a fucking corpse through there. It'll be fine. It's like, well, go dig up Chloe then. Like,
yeah. I'm just throwing out stuff. And if I throw it out, I guess that means it's true.
Yeah. So he's like, all right, well, I'm going to go kill the demon. And Spike starts to leave. And Principal's like, where are you going? He's like, I'm going to go kill the demon.
There's a weird edit in this point where Principal Wood says, oh, Spike, you can barely stand, right? And they cut to Dawn, and they linger on a shot of Dawn just by herself for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And I just didn't understand that edit. It felt like they were covering something. I don't know what it was. And Spike has got his hand on the door frame, and he's like, oh, like he's leaning all weird.
Yeah, that was very weird. And when Principal Wood's like, you can barely stand, I was like, I feel like Spike's been through worse than being thrown up a story through the ceiling.
Also, Principal Wood, did you forget that you don't like this guy?
Yeah.
You're worried about he can barely stand? Are you really worried about him getting this demon back?
Yeah. Yeah, anyway. Whatever. So then Buffy, she's in Slayerland, first Slayerland, and she sees all these like tribal people.
She later calls them shadow men.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, I didn't know what to call these guys, so I just kept writing like Slayer tribal people. But shadow men's a good word for them. But Buffy walks up to him. She's like, hey, what's up? They're like, we know why you're here. She's like, yeah. So also, why can I understand you? You guys are speaking some kind of language that I would never understand. And I guess it makes sense because this is some kind of magical dimension or whatever. And then they start walking around Buffy, and they start like pounding their like staffs on the ground and stuff. And they're like, we've been here since the beginning of Slayers. And you are the Hellmouth's last guardian. Buffy's like, you mean most recent guardian, right? They're like, nope. And we know that Buffy, you came to learn, and you want to learn about the Slayer's power, and we're going to give you even more power. And Buffy's like, dude, fuck this. This isn't even happening. This is probably another dream. I don't believe that any of you guys are talking to me. I don't believe I'm here. And then one of the shadow men just grabs his staff and just whacks her on the head and knocks her down.
Yeah, this is where I really started getting lost. Because I don't know why Buffy is pushing back that this isn't real. It's not like they have told her anything in this besides, like, you're the last guardian, not the latest guardian of the Hellmouth. It's like she heard one thing she didn't like, and she was like, nah, this isn't real.
Yeah. I don't know, man. This is where it gets wacky. Like, it lost me when Buffy was yelling at everybody. And then this is where it's just like weird.
And she's gone on Vision Quest. All the other people might have. Did the other potentials go on a Vision Quest? Did they all see?
Yeah, with Giles when they went to Temecula.
Because Principal Woods is like, what? You saw the first Slayer? That's crazy. Because she brings it up that she saw it in a dream. And all the other potentials are like, yeah, we all saw her. When you guys all tackled Giles and we were all in the woods.
Yeah, we saw the first Slayer like last week.
Yeah.
Needs to wash her hair, Am I right, Buffy?
Buffy treats this Slayer land like it's like she's
and
like,
it makes no sense because she wanted so badly to learn about all this stuff, and then when they start to tell her the stuff, she's like, "This is bullshit. Get a haircut." Like,
I was like, what do you want?
It's called conditioner, bitch. Like, what are you doing?
I am the first Slayer, meaning beginning. Okay, I didn't have a bronze to go to.
Yeah, I am primordial.
Yeah,
we didn't have fucking Apple computers in high schools.
It was just me, the one lady, a bunch of men, and a world full of demons.
Dude, when they opened that lore up about like demons were created before men.
I think that has been brought up before, but hearing it here, I gotta say, I think I might be Team Demon.
Yeah.
I mean, we live in
demons inherited the earth before we did.
We live in a country that was not where, Native people,
Americans,
like
indigenous.
My people weren't here at first either, and then we just took over a whole land, and now we got demons were here, and then man showed up, and they were like, "Fuck these demons."
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, they were bad. They were bad guys." Demons are like, "What the fuck? We were just living our lives.
Yeah,
nothing bad was happening.
We got an I Am Legend situation here, you know."
Yeah. We were all cool with how the earth was going, and then y'all showed up and fucking started killing us with some girl.
Started building golf courses, and we were like, "Hey, no, fuck this."
Yeah, man. I mean, it seems that way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they go into like the creationist thing of like, did angels and demons in like the biblical sense, were they around before the earth? I guess.
Yeah. But the devil was a fallen angel that came after man was made.
Okay.
It's Adam and Eve, and then cast down after doing the
snake
thing.
He was cast down before, because he was the snake.
Oh yeah, he was cast down before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or was he cast down, or did he do the snake and just want to give the emperor? I don't know if he was. Oh, geez, yeah.
Funnily enough, I was like reading about this recently, and it was like Eve wasn't even the first woman. Lilith was.
Yeah.
And
they don't talk about Lilith that much, but
nah, because why would you?
That's Frasier's wife's name.
Yeah. Yeah, I started reading up about this because I was like, I gotta read up about the lore of hell.
You got that from Has-Been Hotel. That's where you got the
exactly
Lilith
why.
thing.
That's exactly why I started reading about it. I was like, let me see.
I watched 2 episodes of that.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I did.
You get what I'm saying, right? It's like really busy at certain points.
It's busy, and the musical part, it's like takes some getting used to.
See, I don't mind the musical part. I love the musical part, but there's just so much to take in. Like it's so fast moving, and everything is so intricate, and there's like references. Some points I had to like put on closed captions because the words were hard to hear, especially in the musical parts. But interesting, fun show.
Yeah.
But anyway, Buffy's Hellmouth's the last guardian, and they're going to give her power, and Buffy's like, I don't know why, and she gets knocked down. So then we go back to...
Because she's weak.
Yeah. We go back to the Summers home, and Willow's putting, making a salt circle, and she's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm going to try and do the spell, but I don't really know if I'm going to be able to do it. And then Kennedy is like, you can do it. You're the most powerful, sexiest, freckly girl in town, and I'm going to fucking lick them bad boys when you're done with that. And Willow's like, okay, I'll try. Here we go. I'm going to sit cross-legged on the floor, and I'm going to try and do this spell. And so Willow starts doing the spell, and nothing's happening. And then she turns to Dawn, and she's like, Dawn, better put on a pot of coffee, girl, because this could take a while. And then immediately after, she gets all fucking Dark Willow and zaps Dawn and Kennedy back, and she gets all black-eyed, and all this shit starts happening. And thank God we didn't have to put that coffee on, because I did not want to wait around for this.
I think she zaps him in the next scene, but this one is where she gets like black-eyed and starts screaming at the camera.
Okay. Yeah. I'm pretty sure she like puts her arms back and zaps Willow or Kennedy and Dawn here. But
does she do it again in the next scene too? Because the next,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, you might be right.
But so then we go back to Slayer Land, and Buffy wakes up and she's chained to the earth like in the Shadowcaster thing. And the Shadow Men, they brought Buffy to this place for a lesson, and they start, pounding their sticks on the ground rhythmically.
It's very Dune-esque.
I'm too.
You're not too cool for Dune, but you have not seen Dune.
Cool
You're not too cool for Dune.
I'm too cool for it.
Yes, you're no way.
Too cool for it.
Everyone's heard everything that you said over these 137 episodes. They know you're not too cool for Dune.
They got stuff up their noses. I'm too cool for it.
That's those people know how to live in Slayer Land. Okay.
Yeah, I guess so. But they open a box that has the true Slayer power, which we kind of were alluded to in the Shadowcast thing, where it's darkness, all this it looks like the Venom symbiote starts flying out of it, and it's explained that this is the heart of a demon, and it's how they created the first Slayer, and they need to imbue Buffy with this black mist demon powers in order to make her more powerful, and it needs to become one with Buffy, and it'll make her ready for the fight, and this is how it has to be. And then the goo mist goes into Buffy's mouth, and then Buffy's like, no. And then it exits Buffy's mouth, and she rejects it. And all the Shadow Men look around. They're like, what the fuck is going around? What's going on? Don't fight this. This is how it needs to be. And Buffy's like, this is not the way. This is not how it needs to be. Y'all are old school. We got new shit going on, okay? We don't need to do this.
What are we doing? What's happening here?
Yeah.
We'll dive
Buffy's
deeper
trying
into
to
this
explain
later, but yeah.
Yeah, Buffy tries to explain that. Yeah, she's like, I already got powers. I'm already the Slayer. I'm already super powerful. And the guys are like, no, you're not. This is going to give you more power.
You do realize we're telling you how you got your power. The power that you say you have, we gave it to the line. What?
This is how all this shit started, dude.
Yeah.
We were there. We did it.
So this floating thing, is this how it chooses the next person? It just flies into their body and they can track it from some Geiger counter or something, or some EMF reader that watchers can be like.
Yeah, that's how the symbiote chooses who's going to be the next Venom.
Yeah, it's how the Ring picks the new what is it? Hal Sparks. What is the God? What is that comic? The Green Lantern.
Oh yeah. Isn't it Hal Jordan?
There's there's a bunch of different guys. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but so then we go back to the real world, and Spike is in the basement of the school, and he breaks out his old leather jacket to symbolize he's back, baby. He's back, and he's vicious again. All
I see is Mac with the duster from It's Always
Sunny.
Yes,
dude.
He looks so silly in his jacket right now.
Flourish.
Yeah.
It does the flourish where it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That episode of It's Always Sunny is so classic.
I know this was supposed to be like an epic. He got his coat back, but it just didn't. He just looks like he's swimming in it now, and it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't have the same vibe.
Yeah.
And man, is he mentally weak. Buffy's like, I need the guy who's trying to kill me. He's like, I need my jacket to fight.
Yeah, this is like Batman looking at the cape all hung up again, like, time to don the mask again.
Mm-hmm.
But we all know why this is actually happening.
It is so forced.
Yeah. I thought, originally when he grabs the jacket, I was like, okay, yeah, he's putting it back on. This is Spike reclaiming his evil badassness. And then he's walking through the school, and Principal Wood is there waiting. And Spike walks by him, just no sells that he's there. Principal Wood goes, so where'd you get that jacket? And Spike goes, New York. And Principal Wood's like,
And why is Principal Woods in the school?
Yeah, who knows?
He's not. It's not like him and Spike are going together to fight this thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why is the principal just in the hallway?
He's
for
just
this
there,
scene, just for this.
quietly seething. I did like when Spike just says New York, and the look on Principal Wood's face is just like, I know it. Confirmed.
The first evil was right. If only if I was smart enough and never got over the death of my mom from all these years ago when I was super young, I could use this to my advantage to get an upper hand over the first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just kill Spike if you want to. Just kill him. Don't
Right,
tell anything.
dude.
Just stab him. And vampires are
Say
easy.
the first evil killed him. The demon got him. Whoops.
You don't have to say anything. He's dust. They can't track him down.
Yeah.
Somebody would actually rub dust off of his arm. Like,
Yeah,
what is this?
Buffy would go to a dust pile and take some with her two fingers, put it up to her mouth. That's Spike dust.
I know his taste anywhere. Okay, Buffy, calm down, lady.
It's the second most delicious thing I've ever had in my mouth.
Buffy has been canceled.
Yeah. Do you remember that? You remember Conan doing the Walker Texas Ranger lever?
Oh yeah, we used it as one of our clips of the for when the Zeppo episode.
Yeah, there's one that he did where Walker is in the middle of a field and he does exactly what I just said. He touches the dust and he's like, a plane crashed here.
That's the clip we used.
That's what Buffy's gonna do to figure out Spike was dusted.
Yeah, I'll repost that in the Discord. Oh.
Hell yeah. But anyway, we go back to the Summers house and Willow's doing the spell and she's speaking Latin, and eventually she just stops speaking Latin. She's like, fuck all this Latin bullshit. Powers that be, you know what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to fucking figure out where Buffy is. We're trying to bring her back, all right? Let's just get it over with.
I was like, is that how you can do magic? You just start talking normal.
Yeah. And then Xander's like, Willow, I don't know, man. Maybe this is going a little too far. You're black-eyed. Oh, yellow crayons. I love you. What did I say last time? And yeah, but here Willow starts zapping Anya and Kennedy to drain some of their life force as an exchange. And this opens the portal.
Mm-hmm.
And we go over to Spike, and Spike is in a dark alley, and he's fighting the Tusk demon that Buffy brought out because of jumping through the portal. And Spike's getting his ass beat for a little bit, and then he starts winning, and he's reveling in it. He's like, oh, fuck yeah, I haven't felt this alive in a long time.
The action music here was so different than what we've had before.
Yeah. So then we go back to Slayerland, and here's where they start to try to input some social commentary.
Yeah.
So the tribal guys are still pounding their staffs on the ground, trying to tell Buffy, no, this is what we got to do. And Buffy's like, nope, this is not how you do it. In fact, you guys are fucked up for doing this because you did this to the poor girl who was the first Slayer, and you violated that girl, and you made her kill for you because you're weak and you're pathetic and you have nothing to show me. You're all fucking a bunch of bullshit, and you violate this poor girl, and she didn't ask for any of this, just like none of the Slayers have asked for any of this. They're just chosen, and it's fucking bullshit. And she breaks free from the chains of the first Slayer spell or whatever, and then she just starts beating the shit out of all these shadow men. How'd you feel about this?
My note just says, I'm so confused.
Yeah.
Now, like you said, they try to do the social commentary, but it's weird. This seems like something that needs to happen in season 3 when she's quitting the Watchers Council.
Yes.
Right? Those are the guys that have been controlling her and telling her stuff. And now she's it's like you going back in time and then just going to the Mayans and being like, hey, stop sacrificing people. Stop sacrificing people so that the sun doesn't burn out, right? Or something like that. But then you find out later that you needed to sacrifice people so that the sun didn't burn out. Because now she's saying, none of these girls asked for this. You mean all those girls you just yelled at? Like a monster earlier? Like not even a day ago? Like minutes ago?
I mean, we did kind of have a similar scene, I think in season 5, where Buffy like runs down the Watchers about like, yo, y'all are worthless. Without me, you're fucking nothing. So you're going to have to start following my lead. Yeah. And that was like a great scene and it made sense. And it was like a, take down the patriarchy type situation. And then this is kind of like a similar vibe where it's like, you're all pathetic and you violated this girl and she didn't ask for this and yada, 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 which is, powerful, taking down the patriarchy, breaking free from the chains of all this stuff.
Yeah, but what does she want? Like, I felt like it wasn't building to her needing to be like, I don't want to be a slayer anymore. When you're training potential slayers to take,
I think
like
it's a little bit of like when she gets that like demon put into her, it would take away a bit of her humanity or something, maybe.
But she already has that in her because she's a slayer. That's how they got the first slayer power. Like that's how the slayer has powers in general. So she has part of that in her.
Yeah.
But she doesn't want more of it.
She doesn't want more.
And the first slayer said it's not enough, right?
Yeah.
So that's the message the first slayer sent to her. And then these people are saying, the power that you have isn't enough. We're going to give you more. And she's like, fuck you guys. I don't want more power.
Yeah, that first Slayer thing, when in the dream, telling her it's not enough wouldn't make sense as like a patriarchy takedown, because it's also like a woman telling her, hey, like, kudos to you, but this isn't enough.
Yeah. And then these guys are like, hey, we knew that you were coming. And we're going to give you more power because you need more power. And then she's like, I don't need more power. I don't even need the girls and the people I'm with to help me, which I was yelling at earlier. I was like, wait, what do you want here? And like, I understand it's awful that they took a girl, chained her up, and then like put powers in her or whatever, right? Like that's terrible. But that happened. And that's why you are what you are, Buffy. Now, like if she was like, you know what, take my powers away from me, I don't even want that, then that'd be like, whoa, okay. Now that's a big statement. Like none of this should, or the season needs to be building to like, this should have never happened. Slayers shouldn't exist. But the season has been, let's keep training potential slayers. I'm going to lock you guys into a mausoleum to kill a vampire because you guys have to get good at this, right? Like she's doing all the things. And I know there was pushback because I said, oh, she's no better than Giles when he took the Watchers. Yeah. And fair, like it's not as egregious as taking her powers away from her and stuff. But she did lock people. She did like push the bird out of the nest to see if they fly. Yeah. But I don't understand.
I mean, I still kind of push back on that argument with people saying it's not as bad. Like it's
still something. It's still a risk that these girls could die. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like their third or fourth day on the job. Yeah. Buffy at least had 2 years of like learning about, how to kill vampires more effective ways. Like these girls, number one, these girls didn't ask for this. Yeah. And Buffy's like showing no sympathy. Like she's implicit in this like Slayer thing where she's like upholding it.
And it's one of those things where we're getting this like the social commentary of like these guys are weak and they just did this for something, right?
Yeah.
But then we also have the social commentary this season of Cassie's like, hey, I'm going to die. And everyone's like, don't commit suicide. Please don't, Cassie. It's not worth it. And then when we have a girl commit suicide, it's like she was weak and pathetic. It's like, whoa. I don't know, man. It's just, and I didn't understand why it happened so quick that I don't know enough about this demon heart in a box and what it's going to do to her. Besides, it's going to give you more power. I don't know what more power means.
Yeah, they didn't really explain like the downsides of this. Like I theorized like maybe she'd lose a little bit of her humanity or something, or make her more, I don't know, maybe she'd be more like feral. Maybe ask like what it'll just do. Like they seem like they will tell her some stuff. Like she's just like, I mean, when she first shows up, they're like, hey, we're here to give you power. We're teaching you a lesson. We're showing you like what's up.
And she's like, you're not
We know
real.
why you're here. Yeah, you're not real. And then she's like, this isn't the way. And they're like, bro, fucking, then why are you here?
What do you want? Why did you dive through the portal? You dove through the portal.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to see how the first Slayer was made and how these guys put this demon heart into her. And I thought she was just going to, they said like with the shadow thing, you can't just see it. You have to like live it. Right?
Yeah.
So it seems like she was like reliving exactly what happened to the first Slayer. But she, like you brought up earlier, first time she ran into the first Slayer, she gave her shit like, get your hair done. Like,
yeah.
So it's just this weird, Buffy's taking out her anger and social issue on these guys who aren't right.
Mm-hmm. But
I'm wondering what level of the fight, like how wrong they are for the fight that's happening.
Yeah.
Because I'm Team Demon after like finding out that humans came and decided. I'm on Anya and Spike's side. Like, hey man, we gotta live in this house with all these freaking humans and these these messed up potential slayers.
Yeah. Yeah, and
they killed the demon to get its heart somehow.
Well, this is also a little bit of a thing of like taking the social commentary of the day and then trying to apply it to like these primordial, like the first Slayer. Like this wasn't like 20 years ago. This seems like it's like the beginning of time where they're like, they don't know the social mores of 2003 or whatever. Like Buffy's like, you violated that girl. And they're like, bro, this is just what we did. Like, sorry.
And they're like, so are you against Slayers? Like, at this point, I'm like, Buffy, are you against Slayers existing anymore? Like, they literally said, you are going to be the last guardian of the Hellmouth. Mm-hmm. That should be like a relief to you if you don't want this other thing to happen. But instead, they told you that. You were like, no, it can't be. Someone else has to be to take the mantle later. But I'm like, if they take the mantle, you're just extending what they did in the past.
Yeah.
So I just feel like the season isn't building to this moment that she breaks free from the chains of these people who have not been overseeing her. She's been free from watchers and oversight for seasons now.
Yeah, this is like faux social commentary. Like reading the words in a vacuum. It's like, fuck yeah, girl power, fuck the patriarchy. But in the context of the entire show, it's like, what? What? Huh?
You just were complaining scenes earlier about needing more help. And then these guys were going to give you more help. And you didn't want it because of how they were going to give it to you.
Yeah.
And I guess knowing how Slayers are made doesn't really answer much.
Honestly, we've been asking for that. They did provide an answer. We do see how the first Slayer was made. We've been literally asking for this.
Yeah.
For a long, long time.
Be careful what you ask for, though.
I mean, I don't mind the origin of it. Like, oh, it's the heart of a demon. We needed to make this happen to make our race more powerful.
Yeah, it's so crazy. They managed to kill a demon, get its heart, figure out how to imbue its powers into a woman.
Yeah.
That's a lot to figure out.
Oh, yeah. A lot of trial and error, probably, too.
And I will say this. It seems like 3 men giving away the most powerful power in the world to a woman is really interesting and not hoarding it for themselves.
Yeah. I will say, though, it did look like when the black goo was like surrounding Buffy, it like goes into her mouth. And there was a part where it looked like it went up her skirt. So I
was like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. That was like a little rapey, not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, they definitely wanted to go for that. But
yeah,
is that the intent of what these guys are doing? That's what I don't get.
Yeah.
Like the messaging seems like that, but I think kidnapping her, chaining her down, and making her go through this is one thing. But the first Slayer, why can't the first Slayer say any of this? Why can't she be seeing the first Slayer go through this and be like, no, this is horrible. This isn't what I want. Like, I think it would be more powerful to see the first Slayer dealing with this and Buffy reacting to that than Buffy being in the position of it and then saying, no, I don't want power. Because she's not living like powerless and getting the power for the first time. She's getting extra power, which I didn't even know that was possible to get extra Slayer power.
Yeah, I didn't either. I don't think the writers did until this episode.
Yeah. And Buffy's like, whoa, no, I don't want to be able to lift up 2 cars at once. Just one is fine.
Yeah. But
I don't know.
Yeah. So
well,
after...
before we move on, I just want to go back to Buffy versus Giles and Kralik.
Okay.
That we talked about. Now, my thing that I can see is that Buffy is not as bad as Giles because, for one, Giles was hypnotizing and secretly drugging. That's the biggest difference. Like, he was doing it secretly. She just kind of said, hey, I'm locking you guys in here one day. It wasn't a whole conspiracy and keeping a secret and then drugging and hypnotizing someone that has come to trust you over years.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest difference. It's not a 1-to-1. It's just one of those things where it's like that. That is the point. But yeah.
Yeah. Would you have felt differently if Giles and Quentin Travers were like, hey, we're going to do this test where we take away your powers and lock you in there?
Oh, I mean, if they did that, then I'd be fine. Like, that'd be like any other training. But instead, like, they should have said that. And she should have been like, no, I don't want to do that. And they were like, well, it's a tradition. And she's like, well, I guess I do traditions, except for when the people who started Slayers want me to.
Yeah.
I'm all for her. I'm all for her pushing it back against the patriarchy, but it doesn't seem like this is the story that this season and this episode was planning to tell.
Well, it feels like, right now anyway, it feels like a hollow pushback against the patriarchy because she's pushing back against these guys while maintaining the system they set up in the present day. Maybe that'll be different going forward, but she's just like, you violated these girls. Anyway, I got to get back to the girls that I think are going to be violated next. Like, that didn't ask for this. You know what I mean?
It's just the fact that she says that those guys are weak, but she also called Chloe weak. And it's just,
everybody's weak compared to Buffy.
Yeah. Hey, Buffy, you want more power? No, I'm not weak.
Yeah. Maybe Anya was right. Maybe, let her fucking fend for herself. You heard her rah-rah. I love that when she was talking to Principal Wood about that. She's like, you didn't hear her rah-rah speech about how all of us suck.
Oh, man. Discord is going to be lively this week, man. It's going to be lively.
Watch it not be. Watch him be like, yeah, you guys are right about everything.
I don't even watch this part of season 7.
No. But yeah, so next scene, Spike is fighting the demon, and he eventually kills it by just... Didn't even look like he snapped his neck. It just like cracked his back, gave it a little chiropractic adjustment.
That sound effect hits so hard, though. That like neck snap sound effect.
Yeah. And the demon falls to the ground, and Spike pulls out a cigarette, and he lights a match off of its tusk. And he's like, a fight like that, it's good for the soul. And I was like,
cringe city.
I thought that Principal Wood was going to be like standing in a different part of that dark alley, like watching him, like reveling in killing something and being like, yeah, that's the guy.
That would have made sense. Instead, Principal Wood is like, I'm going to grade these papers. I'm not a teacher. What am I doing?
I forgot that I got got to help these kids.
Oh, there's a PTA meeting I forgot about. I need to get prepared.
Yeah, it was pretty cringe. That line's good for the soul, but sometimes you gotta throw one of those action movie lines in there.
Yeah.
I get it.
You know what's really fun to think about is him carrying this body through Sunnydale.
That's true, because he brings it back to Buffy's house. But before that, we go back to Slayerland, and one of the shadow men goes up to Buffy, and he's like, all right, fine. Do things your way. Our way is the old way. Do whatever you want. But before you go back, I got to tell you something that you don't know. And he touches Buffy's face, which like allows her to see some kind of vision. And Buffy looks horrified and shocked. And she's like, oh, fuck. Then we cut back to the Summers house. Spike returns with the demon corpse. And he's like, got your fucking dead body. And he just chucks it into that portal. And the portal closes. Buffy returns. And everyone's happy, and they're like, "Oh, yay, Buffy, yay, you're back." And Buffy just looks so sad and horrified, and she's like, "Oh, God, what did I do?"
They have to be like, did we pull you from heaven again?
Yeah.
They have to do that there.
It's got to be Xander. It's like, hey, we didn't pull you from heaven again, did we?
Right?
That's such a Xander line.
I know, it's there. Like, somebody could say it. Dawn could say it. Willow saying it wouldn't be as great. But Anya could definitely say it for sure.
Yeah, Anya or Xander. That's his line for either of them.
Yeah. The guy, before he touches Buffy's face and shields or something, he's like, "We offered you power." And she's like, "I didn't want it." And he's like, "Well, you need to see something." I forget the exact line, but he's like, I'll show you something. You know?
Yeah, because Buffy says something like, "Tell me something I don't know."
Yes. Tell me
he's
something.
Like, all right.
Yeah.
All right, I'll show you something.
She's got a lot of attitude.
I know.
I don't know why she's so angsty.
Is it that time of the month for the old slur and all that? But
that is
misogyny.
That is Joe Welke speaking. I know some people get us confused sometimes.
All jokes, people. But anyway, so when Kennedy is now walking around the house, and she looks a little sheepish, and Willow finds her, and she's like, "Hey, just wanted to say sorry for, zapping you a couple times, but that's kind of how this shit works." Yeah, it sucked the life out of you. And Kennedy's like, "Yeah, dude, that was kind of fucked up. I did not enjoy that." And Willow's like, "Yeah, man, I mean, that's kind of how this shit works, It's like physics. There's got to be an exchange. I reached out, and you were like the most powerful person in the room, and I had to get some power from somebody, and it just happened to be you. I'm sorry." And Kennedy's like, "Yeah, I didn't like that at all. And I thought it was going to be like kind of cool to see you all like super mega witch, but it's kind of scary, and I didn't like it, and it's not cool." And Willow's like, "Yeah, sorry, that's how it works. And that's how I work." And then Kennedy's like, "All right, well, I'll see you in the morning." And it's like, oh, trouble in paradise.
And watch out for that hole in the floor. There's a vampire-sized hole in the floor up here. I couldn't believe that they tried to pull the Kennedy is freaking out about Willow here. After she turned into a guy and pointed a gun at her 2 episodes ago.
That's all just first date stuff, Vance. You never pulled a gun on a first date? You never pulled a gun on the lady?
I'm a traditional person, so I wait for the 3rd date before I before I pull a gun out on someone.
Yeah, you don't want people to think that you're a gun slut if you pull it out on the first date.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
The red flags were there. Everyone's talking about her being evil, ending the world. And you're like, whew, didn't expect this to happen. You got flung across the room by Amy the witch, Amy the rat.
Even Willow warned Kennedy about, like, you don't want to see me like this. And Kennedy was like, I kind of do. And then Kennedy sees it and she's like, oh, yeah, you were right. And, we're on the outs now.
Yeah.
And Willow's just like, bro, what?
Seeing Buffy dive through a portal in exchange for a giant 8-foot demon, that was just normal shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that didn't like zap any life out of Kennedy, so she was fine with that. Yeah.
I know what they're doing, but man, yeah.
So Willow's feeling bad, but she walks over to Buffy's room, and Buffy's sitting in bed, and she's all covered up, and she's just sitting there thinking. And Willow's like, hey, welcome back. How are you doing? And Buffy's like, I'm all fucked up, dude.
What Buffy does is she thanks Willow for bringing her back again.
Yeah, Willow goes, that's kind of what I do.
I hate it that so much. Like, give her some shit for pulling you from heaven. The first pull is, you don't think of her bringing you back again. You didn't want her to bring you back the first time. Yeah. Again, Willow just keeps getting a pass. I just need them to cut to Amy the rat being like, why?
Yeah. But Willow's like, why are you looking so gloom, Buffy? Like, what's the deal? And Buffy's like,
why would you be
think
sad diving through a portal?
a girl just killed herself. You dug a grave for, what was that, like 4 or 5 hours ago, maybe less. Why are you looking so sad?
Yeah, sorry I couldn't help you. You know my bad shoulder and all. I couldn't help you dig that hole.
But Buffy goes, I think I made a mistake. And Willow's like, what do you mean? And Buffy goes, the Shadow Men, they offered me more power, and I didn't accept it, and I didn't like what I would have had to give up in order to get it. And Willow's like, what?
What did she have to give up, though?
I don't know, man. She didn't like the loophole or whatever. And Buffy's unsure of everybody's future. You know, first evil's there, and it's taunting them, and already had Chloe kill herself. And then Willow's like, I mean, we're strong enough. We've always thought that we weren't strong enough before, and we've always pulled through, so it's cool. And Buffy's like, nah, this time it's different. The Shadow Men, they showed me something, and the first Slayer was right. This isn't enough power. And then it cuts to the Shadow Men and what they showed Buffy. And it goes to the Shadow Man touching Buffy's face, and you see the vision that Buffy had. And it is an enormous CGI army of Turok Hans.
It is a video game rendering of a ton of demons in hell. An early 2000s rendering of all these demons, and it was hilarious looking. It was not scary.
I thought it
was hilarious.
It was hilarious. It was funny to see the first initial Turok Hans, because it's like back is to the camera, and then it just turns around and is like,
yeah.
And then just like zooms out. And it looks like, do you remember the video game Doom?
Yeah.
It looks like that. Like just a bunch of those demons coming. And yeah, Buffy, you done fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, they were here first, all right?
Yeah. You fucking colonizer.
And Buffy's already been to hell. I brought that up earlier.
I mean, she can defeat the Turok Hans with communism, right? That's what she did the first time.
She's like, I can't do that many Thunderdomes. I always wondered, this is a note I wrote down, did she not talk to Angel about his time in hell and what it was like?
Maybe that's in one of the comic books that we keep hearing about how there's like 5 additional seasons now.
Yeah.
There was a comic book that covered Buffy and Angel's meeting when that one episode of both of these shows were like, you got to meet up with Angel.
What a tease for a comic book tie-in.
Yeah.
That was, I just need a little more why she didn't take the power. Also, I don't know what getting that more power would do if she had to fight all of that.
Yeah. I mean, I think she turned down the power because she thought it was like a patriarchal, like you're violating girls and nobody ever asked for it. I get that. But
what if she said, what if they said you can only take this if you want it? And she says, I want it.
Yeah.
Like what's inside of Willow, right? Like she's got like darkness inside of her now. And Buffy keeps saying like, well, I need you to whip out that dark magic and stop being lame. It's just a lot of like weirdly conflicting. She's like, I want everyone to help me. And these guys are like, I'm going to give you power. Like she's conscious when this is happening. It's not like she's chained down, but she can get out of it, if she wants. She's not a helpless. It's not like they took Dawn and they were going to force Dawn to take this mantle or something.
Well, I think it was the symbolism of like the first Slayer didn't have that power to break out of the chains.
Yeah, I just need her. I kind of want to see the first Slayer dealing with that,
Yeah, I think that would have been more effective, and Buffy being like, oh, this is where I come from? This is fucked up.
Yeah.
But like the Shadow Men can be like, this is what we did. This is all we knew or whatever.
Is that how the Chinese potential feels? Does she feel like we just kidnapped her and made her live in a house? And now she has to follow Kennedy's orders. Like,
she's fine. She's got a nice silk robe. She's good. She's living good.
Am I the baddie?
Are we the bad guys?
Yeah. It's just a little bit of. I get what they're going for, but it just doesn't line up in a way where they're fighting the first evil.
Yeah, it's again, like I said, it's like hollow feminism, kind of.
Which the whole show has that in it. Like the whole show is a feminist commentary in a way. So it's, but they still have the watcher factors, and we're supposed to like Giles, and we're supposed to, they just grabbing girls and bring them to the house, and we're supposed to be like, yeah, this is the right thing to do.
Yeah. I wonder if this is the point where season 7 starts to lose people.
The video game Turricons.
Yeah, again, like I said with that movie Us, like they're trying to explain everything, and then it just opens a whole bunch of other questions.
I really thought she was just gonna watch how the first Slayer got made and be like, oh my god, this is how it happens, and from this I learned what we need to do to fight evil because I am evil or something like that. Like I am the first good or first evil.
Yeah,
something like that. I don't know.
Because it could be like a parallel of like what she was ranting and raving at everybody else about, like about Spike. Like, we need you to be dangerous and I'm the only good thing. And then you see like she needs to tap into her demon heart that's within her.
Yeah, she was just telling Spike he needs to be more bad. And then she gets a chance to become more bad. And she's like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Like if they didn't chain her down, would she have taken it? Or was she just against it the whole way of getting more power?
I think the chains definitely.
Yeah.
That added a little something to it.
Spike has been chained in the basement.
He chains himself up. Last we saw anyway.
Well, I don't think they would have chained her up if she would have stopped pushing back. When she first showed up, they were like, hey, you're the last Hellmouth Guardian. We're going to give you power. And she's like, you guys are all fictional. They're like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough because this seems like it's before recorded history with the first Slayer and these Shadow Men. Like, we're just showing you what we did. That, again, like I said, it's tough because it's like taking the morals of 2003 and then putting it into like before recorded history time and be like, this is messed up. Like maybe they didn't know any better, but it's like fucked up to say that because like, oh yeah, we did things in the past way differently. It's super complicated, man.
I'm not so much defending the guy's actions. I'm just more curious what Buffy wanted to get out of this trip to Slayerland.
Yeah, I have no idea. It's getting confusing.
If like they didn't show her that there were more demons coming, like I don't think I needed oh my god, there's more demons coming when and they're like, hey, this is the first evil of all time. I'm like, I'm good. I got enough stakes. I don't need to see a bunch of demons for me to be terrified that there's a bunch of demons. I've seen the world. There's enough vampires already on the planet. That is enough.
Yeah. Yeah, and if it was like all those Turricons, if it was Buffy, I'd be like, I'm not too worried. You know, they have to do all kinds of crazy rituals in order to summon one.
Yeah.
We'll just cover that manhole up again. We'll break that little wheel that they made, and it'll be fine. Mm-hmm. All those Turricons need to be summoned via that Scooby-Doo fucking thing.
Hey, you're in Slayerland. Ask how you defeat the first evil. Ask the question. Yeah. Like, that's the thing that you guys have been trying to figure out. Not once did she say, hey, you guys are from the first times? How do I beat the first evil?
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. Opening up a whole bunch of other can of worms. That's all I gotta say is like, this is getting real complicated. I could see if this is like where people kind of are like, huh?
Yeah.
Where the start of that is, I can kind of see it.
It feels like a half measure of an explanation, you know?
Yeah. And you know, this podcast, we don't do half measures, everybody.
Oh.
You got anything else to say about Get It Done, Vance?
No.
Next episode is titled Storyteller. I'm gonna say Giles comes back and starts revealing some stuff to Buffy that he hadn't revealed before. Classic Giles.
I agree with that, and I am going to hate that. If that happens, it's so bad that he just left. Yeah. After season 5, I want you to stay and tell me everything about Slayers. Well, I didn't tell you everything. Why not?
Yeah. I think it's going to be a little bit of that. Maybe Spike tells the story of killing Principal Wood's mom to him, and there's tension there.
I hope he doesn't, because my goodness, we've already seen that recap. It's going to show the whole thing.
Yeah. He's a vampire.
He's a vampire. I killed her on the train.
Yeah. Oh, that was your mum?
But, did you forget that when I spared your watcher when I found you? It's like, what? What happened? You did something, a good deed when you were a vampire? If they rewrite some history, that would be really bad.
Yeah. But yeah, that is a wrap for Get It Done, everybody. Thanks for listening. Really appreciate it. Hop on Discord. Let us know what you thought of the episode, what you thought of what's going on in Buffy. If you have any behind-the-scenes knowledge or whatever, you want to have some tidbits, some debates, I'm sure all of that is going to come to fruition. Join our Patreon, patreon.com/Boys Watching Buffy, where we're doing Boys Watching Angel, which is fucking lunacy at this point. Boys Watching Movies, Summer Catch is going to be out in the next couple weeks. And Joe's Fashion Report /Corner. We also have Amazon Wishlist. We also have merch. We also have an Instagram @BoysWatchingBuffy. Follow that. Email is boyswatchingbuffy@gmail.com. And yeah, that's a wrap, everybody. Thanks. And stay tuned next time for when we talk about Storyteller.
Translation's gonna be a bitch, but did you know the ancient Sumerians did not speak English?
They're worse than the French.
Seltzer Kings.
Podcasts.